Hello, English learners! Welcome to a new podcast episode here on Story Orbit N. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Tom. Welcome back. Today we have something super fun for you. Something that will make your imagination go wild while also learning some English.
Yes! This is going to be one of those episodes where you laugh, but also learn some very important grammar. We're going to talk about conditionals, those sentences with if, and we're going to make it crazy and fun with some wild what-if scenarios.
That's right. So if you've ever wondered things like, what if dogs could talk? Or what if the world was made of chocolate? Then you're in the right place because we are going to explore those ideas and teach you how to make sentences in English using conditionals. And believe me, you'll learn a lot without even noticing because it's going to feel like a game.
Exactly. Before we jump into the crazy ideas, let's make sure everyone knows what a conditional sentence is. So, a conditional is basically when you say something like, if this happens, then that will happen. For example, if I study, I will pass the exam. It's like you have a condition and a result.
Yeah, and in English, we have different types of conditionals, like zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. We'll explain some of them today, but don't worry, you don't need to memorize everything now. We will make it super easy.
Let's start with an easy one. Imagine this. What if dogs could talk? How would life be different? Tom, tell me your thoughts.
Oh wow, that would be crazy. If dogs could talk, I think they would complain all the time. Like if I forget to give them food at the exact time, they would say, "Hey, where's my dinner?" I can totally imagine my dog being like a little boss around the house.
Yes, mine would probably say things like, stop singing, you're terrible. I think dogs would tell us everything they hate. And here's the thing, notice how we are saying, if dogs could talk, they would. This is an example of the second conditional. We use if plus past tense and then would plus the verb. For example, if I had $1 million, I would buy a castle. This is for unreal or imaginary situations, things that are not true now.
Exactly. So if you say, if dogs could talk, they would tell us everything, that means dogs can't talk in real life, but we're imagining. Other examples could be, if I were invisible, I would travel for free, or if I lived on the moon, I would eat moon cheese every day. It's all about imagination.
And remember, after if, we use the past simple, but the meaning is not really past. It's just the grammar for these unreal situations. And then in the second part, you use would. For example, if I knew how to fly, I would never take the bus.
Right, and by the way, Jessica, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, well, that's a good one. If I could have any superpower, I would definitely choose teleportation. Because imagine skipping traffic and traveling anywhere instantly. Like if I wanted pizza from Italy, I could just pop over there in 2 seconds.
That's so true. If I had a superpower, I would probably choose time travel. I think it would be amazing to visit the future or the past. But maybe it could be dangerous too, because if you change something in the past, the future changes as well. That's what they show in movies.
Yeah, those movies make it so complicated. But here's a good vocabulary point for our listeners, the word instantly. When I said I could just pop over there instantly, it means immediately, without waiting. Another example is, I called my friend and she answered instantly, meaning right away.
Great one. And you also said, pop over. That's a fun phrasal verb. It means to go somewhere for a short time or quickly. For example, I'm going to pop over to my friend's house, meaning you will visit them for a little while.
Exactly. So now, let's make it even crazier. What if gravity stopped working for one day?
Oh, wow. That would be chaos. If gravity stopped working, we would all be floating in the air like balloons. Can you imagine people flying away because there is no gravity to hold them down? You would have to hold on to trees or cars to stay on Earth.
That sounds scary, but also kind of fun. If that happened, I think supermarkets would be a disaster. Like if you tried to grab a bottle of water, it would just float away. Imagine trying to drink water and it just floats out of the glass.
Yes, and imagine pets. Cats would probably love it. They would float around like kings of the sky. Dogs maybe not so much. They would be barking like crazy. But here's something important. Did you notice how we keep using, if gravity stopped, we would? That's the second conditional again. Unreal situation, past tense after if, and then would.
Yes, and we can practice a few more examples with the same structure. For example, if chocolate rained from the sky, I would eat all day. Or if cars could fly, there would be no traffic jams.
And that last one is interesting because I said there would be no traffic jams. The word jam in English doesn't only mean the sweet thing you put on bread, like strawberry jam. It also means when there are too many cars and everything is stuck. So a traffic jam means a line of cars that cannot move.
Good point. And it's a funny expression because if you think about it, traffic jam sounds like strawberry jam, but in this case, it means something bad, not delicious. So, one more example. If I had wings, I would fly everywhere. That's another second conditional sentence.
Okay, let's make it even crazier. What if humans had to sing instead of talk? Like, every time you want to say something, you have to sing it.
Oh no, that would be terrible for me because I am a bad singer. If I had to sing every time I spoke, people would run away from me. But it would make life more musical. Imagine asking for coffee in a song.
That would be hilarious. If that happened, I think people would take singing lessons just to survive in society. And concerts would not be special anymore because everyone would be singing all the time.
Yes, and here's another little grammar tip. When we imagine something that is possible in the future, we use the first conditional. For example, if I practice singing every day, I will become better. That is different because it's not completely imaginary, it's possible. So we use will in the second part, not would.
Good one. So, to review, first conditional is for real or possible future situations, and the structure is if plus present simple, and then will plus verb. For example, if it rains tomorrow, I will stay home. That's something that could really happen. But second conditional is for imaginary things, like all these crazy scenarios we are talking about.
Exactly. Okay, here's another scenario. What if animals ruled the world instead of humans?
Oh wow, that would be something. If animals ruled the world, lions would probably be the presidents because they are the kings of the jungle. And cats? Oh no, cats would make everyone their servants.
That sounds true. If that happened, I think cows would make everyone eat grass instead of meat, so hamburgers would disappear forever.
Ha ha ha, yes. And maybe dogs would make a law that says everyone has to play fetch every day. That would be the national sport. And by the way, fetch is a game where a person throws an object, like a stick or ball, and a dog runs to get it and brings it back. It's a popular and fun way dogs play and get exercise.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine professional fetch tournaments? People in stadiums running after tennis balls while commentators say things like, "And Jessica catches the ball again! What a champion!" It would be hilarious.
And the dogs would be the referees. If you break the rules, a German Shepherd comes and gives you a yellow card.
That sounds so funny. But also, let's think of more examples for practice. If dogs rule the world, humans would play fetch every day. That's a good second conditional sentence.
Yes. And listeners, remember this. When you say would, you can also use could or might. So you could say, if dogs ruled the world, humans could play fetch every day. Or if dogs ruled the world, humans might become their servants. The difference is small but important. Would means you are sure in that imaginary situation, could means it is possible, and might means maybe.
Exactly. For example, if I had wings, I could fly anywhere. Or if I had $1 million, I might buy a castle. It's about how certain you are in your imagination.
Yes, and here's another word, referee. When I said a German Shepherd would be the referee, that means the person who makes sure everyone follows the rules in a game. In soccer or basketball, the referee is the one with the whistle.
Right? Okay, now let's imagine something even crazier. What if people could only speak in rhyme? Like every sentence had to rhyme with the next one.
Oh wow, that would make life like a rap battle every day. If that happened, school would be so weird. Teachers would say, open your book, take a look, don't be a crook.
Yes, and imagine arguments. If you were angry but you have to rhyme, it would sound so funny. Like, you hurt my heart, you broke it apart, now get in your car and drive really far.
That's so good. And for our listeners, the word rhyme means when two words sound the same at the end, like cat and hat or look and book. You see how the endings sound similar. Jessica, I tried to cook, forgot my book. Now dinner's ruined. Just take a look.
Ha ha ha! Great! Love your rhymes, they always shine. So, another example of a conditional. If people had to rhyme all the time, conversations would be so hard.
Yes. And look at that expression too. All the time. It means always, continuously. For example, she checks her phone all the time, meaning very often or always.
That's right. Okay, next scenario. What if every time you sneezed, something magical happened? Like every sneeze created a rainbow. A sneeze is when air suddenly comes out of your nose and mouth really fast, usually because something tickles inside your nose, like when you catch a cold or see dust.
That would be amazing. If that happened, allergy season would look like a rainbow festival. People would be sneezing, and the whole sky would be full of colors.
That sounds beautiful. But also imagine this. What if every sneeze made you teleport somewhere random? You sneeze at work and suddenly you are in Paris.
Oh, wow, that would be crazy. If I teleported every time I sneeze, I would never go to work again because I would just sneeze and disappear.
Yes, but what if you sneezed while eating dinner? You would end up in the middle of the desert holding a spoon.
Oh my gosh, that would be terrible. And by the way, listeners, here's a quick phrase. Hold on. When Jessica said, holding a spoon, it means you still have it in your hand. Hold on is also an expression that means wait. For example, hold on, I'm coming.
Yes, good tip. And let's give another grammar point. In these examples, we keep using would because it's the second conditional. You can make your own sentences like, if I teleported every time I sneezed, I would wear travel clothes every day.
Perfect example. Okay, next. What if? What if you could hear everyone's thoughts?
Oh no, I don't want that. If I could hear everyone's thoughts, I would go crazy because I don't want to know what people are thinking all the time.
Same here. But maybe it would also be useful. If someone is lying, you would know immediately. If you ask, do you like my cooking? And they say yes, but in their head they say, this is terrible. You would know the truth.
That's true. And here's a vocabulary word, lying. It means not telling the truth. For example, he said he was at home, but he was lying, and the verb is lie.
Good one. Okay. But now let's go to something really silly. What if every time you said the word like, you had to do a little dance?
Oh, wow. That would be so funny because people say like all the time. Imagine talking to your friends. So, like, I was at the store and like, I saw this guy and you're dancing every 5 seconds.
Yes. And that's a good point because in English, people use like as a filler word, which means a word that doesn't really add meaning, but people use it while thinking. For example, I was like so surprised. So if you had to dance every time, people will get so tired.
Exactly. And here's another expression all the time, which we said before. In this situation, you would be dancing all the time because people say like so much.
Okay, next scenario. What if money grew on trees?
Oh, wow, that's a classic one. If money grew on trees, people would have forests in their gardens, and nobody would ever work because they could just pick money.
True, but then money would lose its value because everyone would have it. And here's a great word for our listeners, value. It means how much something is worth. For example, the value of gold is very high.
Yes, good one. And let's make more sentences. If money grew on trees, banks would disappear. Or if money grew on trees, people would fight over gardens.
Okay, next crazy idea. What if you could pause time whenever you wanted?
Oh, that would be amazing. If I could pause time, I would sleep all day and then press play when I'm ready.
Same here. If I had that power, I would finish all my work in 1 second because I could freeze time and take 10 hours to do it. But for everyone else, it's instant.
Yes, and let's explain the phrase press play. It means to start something again. Like when you watch a video, you press play to continue.
Good one. And here's another, freeze time. It means to stop time completely. The word freeze usually means to make something very cold, like water turns to ice, but in this expression, it means stop. For example, the movie had a freeze frame, which means the picture stopped.
Great point. Okay, here's another scenario. What if everything you touched turned to chocolate?
Oh, wow. That would be sweet, but also a problem. If that happened, I would never be able to touch my phone because it would melt into chocolate.
Ha ha ha, yes. And if you hugged your friends, they would turn into chocolate statues. That would be horrible. Bad idea. Very bad idea.
But imagine the good side. If you are hungry, you could just touch a chair and eat it.
True. And that's another vocabulary, statue. It means a figure made of stone, metal, or in this case, chocolate. For example, the Statue of Liberty is in New York.
Good example. Well, I think it's time to finish.
All right, everyone, that was such a fun episode. We imagined so many crazy scenarios and used them to practice conditionals, especially the second conditional. And we also talked a little about the first conditional.
Yes, we covered how to make sentences like, if I had wings, I would fly everywhere for imaginary situations. and also gave you lots of vocabulary like rhyme, referee, freeze time, and more.
Exactly. So remember, conditionals are super useful in English, and the best way to learn is to practice with your own fun examples.
Thank you so much for listening today. We hope you had a great time and learned something new. And don't forget, tell us in the comments your own what if situation. Then check out and reply to other people's ideas. Let's have fun imagining together. Bye, everyone.
Keep practicing, keep imagining, and keep learning English with us. See you next time.